students! Welcome back to class. Today we're going to be looking at a presentation by somebody named Leon Lush. I've never heard of him, but he submitted a presentation, and so we're going to evaluate his work. Now, he has 1.8 million subscribers, and this presentation was actually submitted on November 20th, 2020. So that was already a little while ago, and I didn't know who he was. I don't know what's going on here with this guy. But apparently he had a lot to say about that vegan teacher. Now, this is when I had my TikTok account before it was taken down by the meat, dairy, and egg industries and all kinds of vegan-phobic carnists. But let's have a look at what Leon has to say here. Now, let's remember before we begin our criteria. We are looking for the presentation to have a cruelty-free products. Did the student show any vegan cruelty-free products like Beyond Burgers, soy milk, vegan cheese, or vegan pet food brands during the presentation? This is one of the criteria. We're also looking for the egg industry. We want to make sure that did the student talk about how cute innocent baby boy chicks are murdered by being put in giant blenders at birth just because they are considered to be useless in the egg industry? Okay, this is one of the things this is a criteria we are looking for in Leon's presentation. We're going to be seeing if he talks about that. We're going to talk about also, did the student call out the horrible people who torture mother pigs by shoving them into cages so tight that they can't even turn around? We're going to see if Leon talks about that. And we're going to also see, did he refrain from showing any dead animal products? Did the student refrain from showing any dead products or their secretions during the presentation? Let's see if he is able to refrain from that. And schools and hospitals. Did the student talk about how all schools and hospitals should have vegan-only food policies so that everyone can eat them and so that no murder enters the building? Let's see what happens. Let's have a look at his presentation. You can all get your notepads as well if you like. It's very simple. We just write the student's name on here, and if you participate, you give an X every time you hear something that's either a lie or that is just mean on purpose, just something that just doesn't make any sense. And we give, of course, check marks for good effort and for something that is truthful. So let's have a look. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to give a check mark to Leon because he has actually made a presentation. He made an effort, so that's good. So I'm going to write here on the left side of my paper good, and on the right side of my paper I'm going to write bad for things that are not okay, and we're going to make check marks if something is good and an X if it's bad. So far Leon did a presentation, so we're going to give him one check mark. Now let's have a look together what he has to say.
The very fabric of your identity becomes so intertwined,
my goodness, I think we missed something at the beginning. What's going on here?
Have y'all ever simped so hard for something that your entire existence, the very fabric of your identity becomes so intertwined, so aligned with one particular vertical or ideal or cause that there's nothing left beyond that? Now, if owning the first edition vinyl of every single Taylor Swift album and individually running 17 Instagram and TikTok fan accounts puts me under that umbrella, then I'm guilty as charged. All right, but this kind of...
Okay. So you are saying that you're guilty of simping? Okay, I'm not sure what this has to do with my presentation or anything about being vegan, but let's keep listening and see what happens.
Radical commitment to one particular school of thought seems to be more prevalent than ever. Our current political climate is rife with this kind of thing. Left or right, doesn't matter. You spend 5 minutes online, you find hundreds of people who are so consumed with their partisan pride that if you took it away, they would be this empty husk of a human being. Fortunately, this video is not about politics. It's about something much more thrilling. Penis warts. Nah, I'm only kidding. It's about veganism.
So I thought that was kind of a bad joke, penis warts, so I'm going to give that an X. And then he said veganism.
Well, not really. It's not about veganism itself. That's fine. It's more about...
Okay, so you're fine. You think you're fine with people not murdering animals? I should hope so.
Vegan lady. It's about TikTok. It's about an insufferable vegan lady on TikTok.
3, 2, 1. I wonder who that insufferable? Maybe give that an X. That's a little bit mean. You mean this nice person who happens to be me, singing outside of McDonald's, trying to encourage them to not pollute the environment, trying to encourage them to not pay people to murder animals? That's your definition of insufferable? That's odd. And sing, eating animals is wrong, McDonald's. Hurting animals is wrong, that's right. McDonald's. Share this song and change your entire menu to be vegan from now on.
Now, I'm not here to...
Now, that makes sense to me. That's good. I think that we should follow the advice that I gave, which is to make the entire menu vegan because it's best for the planet, for our health, and especially for the animals.
Bash veganism. If that's a lifestyle choice you made, it's working for you, I think that's fantastic.
Veganism should be for everyone.
I'm also not one of those neckbeards that replies to every single PETA tweet with a gif of sizzling bacon. I am intrigued, however, by this woman, Miss Katie, that goes by That Vegan Teacher on...
Oh, that's when I had 1.5 million followers. At the time, I was still going up and working full-time super hard to teach veganism on TikTok. And I wasn't really aware of what was going on here on YouTube at the time.
TikTok, she's a former grade school teacher, and she's recently this year blown up.
I'm still a grade school teacher. I'm a teacher, and I am also a registered nurse. I worked as a registered nurse for 25 years, and my phone keeps making a lot of noise. I'm going to try and turn this thing off. It doesn't seem to go off here. So let's see if I can get that off. There we go. Sorry about that.
Up on TikTok, she's got 1.5 million followers right now, strictly through proselytizing veganism as a lifestyle and being very...
Proselytizing is an interesting
very
word.
Critical.
You make it sound like it's religious. You know, veganism has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with facts and kindness. Religion is about fairy tales. Veganism is about facts.
And inflammatory towards people who don't accept veganism as their God and live like it's their gospel.
No, you're mistaken. Just give him an X because he doesn't seem to understand the difference between being kind to animals and believing in religion. That's strange.
Well, like she does.
If you want to get to heaven, you know what to do. It's time to be vegan for the animals and you, Mother Earth, the skies and the oceans too. We have to protect them, we all know it's true. Heaven is vegan. Heaven is vegan. Heaven is vegan. It's vegan right now for every pig, lamb, turkey, fish, chicken, and cow. You skipped part of the verse, the chorus there. Okay, I'm not sure why he's trying to hide like that. That's a weird sort of a dance move. Never seen that one before. Lead with our hearts towards better days. Heaven is vegan.
All right, this is so many layers of what the fuck. If you look through some of it.
So many layers of what the fuck. Why is that? It's pretty simple. Heaven is vegan. A place of heaven is a place of peace and love. And heaven is vegan. When we create heaven here on earth, it will be vegan. When we have a vegan world, it will be like heaven. That's right. Because the animals will stop suffering. Right now, what's going on for the animals is they are living in hell. They are living a Holocaust. And so what we want is a vegan world. It doesn't seem that hard to understand.
Her account, she posts 1 million times a day, and everything she does has to be a
slight exaggeration.
Fucking jingle for some reason, which...
Everything has to be a fucking jingle. Let's give an X for that. Everything has to be a jingle would have been okay. Nothing wrong with a jingle. And that's not actually true. I had a lot of different speeches there. But, you know, he's exaggerating. I'm not sure why.
I guess maybe adds to the appeal. Also, telling kids on TikTok that they can't get into heaven unless they're vegan is kind of a weird take. And it just, there's so...
Well, if they believe in heaven... If they believe in the Bible, which says, thou shalt not kill, and they want to get to heaven, then it's kind of in line with their own morals and the way they think, isn't it? If you don't believe in heaven, that's one thing. But if you actually think that heaven is a place that you're going to go when you're kind, then you better not murder innocent animals who never did a single thing wrong to you, just for your taste buds. Doesn't that make sense?
so many more layers. It goes even deeper.
Is it similar to rape to force an ethical vegan child to eat meat, dairy, or eggs if they don't want to? Yeah? Would you like to listen to that? I hope you're going to respond to it.
We're going to continue going through and trying to suffer through a little bit of this, but first, I want to thank today's...
Okay. What did you do? It was a very interesting question, an ethical question. Let's just see what's going to happen here. I guess he's going to be doing some promotions about his whatever he's promoting here. Let's just skip through all of his advertisements and see if he's even going to touch about
freedom
it.
Today. I appreciate you.
Yes, God. Okay, so I posed a perfectly good question. Is it ethical to force a child to eat dead animals if they don't want to? To push something into their body that they say no to, that they have not given consent to? So, interestingly, Leon, like everybody, doesn't actually talk about what's going on. So, Leon, I'm going to have to give you an X for that, unfortunately, because you brought up the subject and then you immediately ran away. Why is it you're scared to talk about that?
I want to get to heaven, you know what to do.
Yes, yes, I did. Brushed and flossed every day. Okay, but listen, I don't want to talk about that because this is something more important. I have a question. Is Jesus vegan? Or is he up there in heaven killing animals, stabbing animals? Is he eating chickens, cows, and pigs and fish up there in heaven?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me take some notes.
News to me.
Nope. 2 X's for you, Leon. If you believe in heaven, it's a wonderful place where there's no harm going on. They might be eating vegan food, though. Vegan burgers, vegan sausages. Yeah, that's possible. Okay? Jesus does not stab animals in the throat or harm them in any way. Heaven is vegan. Yay, laughing at my jokes. Good job. Give you a check mark for that. I know, hey, it's not me asking. Thank you. Yes, I'll let them know. I'll call you back, okay? Okay, bye.
You see, this is when I became a super fan of that vegan teacher. Just an unbelievable role play call with God.
Oh, a fan. Nice check mark then. Good job. Thank you so much for that.
Set over the background music of her previous jingle, and then having the hubris to pretend like she knows what God and Jesus are doing up in heaven. Like they're just up there in heaven sipping on wheatgrass smoothies and eating tofu burgers, looking down on all the sinners that have the audacity to eat meat and condemning them to hell. Yeah.
It is a sin to hurt animals for no reason.
You know, the countless times they use animals as sacrificial offerings in the Old Testament, and
who cares about that? It was wrong.
The thousands of times they talk about eating fish and meat.
You believe in the Bible? Don't you think it was just written by a bunch of people to control others? Come on.
In the Bible, that's all BC Jesus and God, right? It's 2020 now. They've come around. In fact, they're probably up in heaven right now planning out their next protest at a slaughterhouse. You see, Katie's been around the
That's right. They probably are.
block, so she's smartened up. You see here, she says, take only the good parts from each religion. You see, that's why I'm Christian, Catholic,
That's exactly right. Take the good parts. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you for looking closely. You got to get a check mark for that. You looked nice and closely at what was written at the bottom. Take the good parts of each religion and leave the bad. You got it right.
Buddhist, Islam, atheist, Scientologist, all.
That's right. That's what you should be. Every single religion, depending on the time of the day, depending on where you are and what is being demanded of you or asked of you. Take the good and leave the bad. Don't hurt anyone.
At the same time, because I can just cherry pick whichever theology is most convenient to my.
What you do is you pick the right things to do and you leave the wrong. Whenever you're in a position of having to make a decision about hurting an animal or being kind to an animal, you pick being kind to the animal. If your religion, if you think your religion is telling you to be cruel to animals, don't do it. Go and find another religion. What time is it? Oh, time to find another religion.
Needs at the time.
It's not your fault. You didn't know before. You're innocent. But now slowly you're beginning to learn. You're on your way to becoming vegan. One day at a time. Stay with me.
Was that like a vegan hypno trainer? Like if you just throw on headphones?
Whatever works. If you think that will work as a hypnosis, okay. But it's the truth that people are brainwashed from the time that they are really young. They are trained to be speciesist people, and we don't want that, because that's just being mean. And speciesism is the first form of racism, teaching kids that certain sentient beings are more important than others. And that's not okay.
Phones and listen to this while you doze off to sleep, you'll wake up a vegan prophet.
But now slowly you're beginning to learn.
I'm learning every day.
You're on your way to becoming vegan.
I'm so close.
One day at a time.
I can feel it.
Stay with me.
I'm here with
It's not your fault.
It's not my fault.
You didn't know before.
What was I supposed to do?
Keep listening. What's that weird sound going? Ah, what's that in the background? Don't do that. Actually listen to that vegan teacher's words.
But now slowly you're beginning to learn.
Kill meat, eat.
Must what?
You're on your way to becoming vegan.
I didn't hear what you said. That was
line
just
of
strange,
opera
though.
theme, so-
Whatever that was. I don't know. So, what do we think so far?
Look no further than how many videos she posts a day. I mean, she spams 10, 11, 12 videos a day sometimes.
Let's be vegan from now. That's how I got to 1.7 million followers. I worked my ass off talking about the animals all the time, writing songs, talking to God on my banana phone, whatever it took. Yeah, whatever it took. Unfortunately, the meat, dairy, and egg industries didn't like it. And many, many thousands and millions, actually, of people who felt really guilty eating meat. I accomplished my goal, which was to make everybody feel guilty about eating meat and eating eggs and eating cheese, because that starts the conversation. It started the conversation, and it started people like you doing videos like this, which got people to watch the important documentary called Dominion. And when people watched the documentary called Dominion, they actually became vegan. Did you bother to watch it? Are you watching Seaspiracy right now? Seaspiracy, it's another important documentary to know what's going on. You know, to make yourself give a shit. Not sure if you watch those. Stop veganphobia from now on. Let's be kind to everyone. Let's be vegan from now on.
So she's proselytizing that veganism is the only acceptable lifestyle choice. You sprinkle in a little bit of pretentiousness, and then you turn everything into a fucking jingle. And of course...
Oh, no. You said fucking jingle as if it was a bad thing. Jingles are good. Songs are good.
She's going to get enough hate in the comments to trigger algorithms to push her onto the FYP, which is how she blew up, because people were like, fuck this bitch.
Is it similar? Oh, you are getting back to this. That's good. Okay, I'm not sure why you're calling me a bitch, but I'm going to give you an X for that. So Lush so far. Leon, this is your score so far. You're going to have to pick it up a bit. Not passing right now. Similar to rape, to force an ethical vegan child to eat meat, dairy, or eggs if they don't want to, considering science has confirmed that kids can grow up to be... I hope you're going to actually respond and not just give that look like everybody else does. Are you listening? There's a question. Is it ethical to force kids who are vegan to eat dead animals and their body parts, secretions, anything? Is that okay? 100% healthy, eating well-balanced vegan foods. Is it morally wrong? What's with the eye thing? Is that supposed to be interesting or entertaining? What's that supposed to mean? That you have nothing to say? So you're going to do that? To penetrate a child's body with death if they do not consent. It's hard to understand, isn't it? Because you know I'm right. To it.
I'll tell you, comparing trying to get your kid to eat some eggs...
You mean the dead animal body parts? That? Eggs which were stolen? Eggs which were stolen from mothers who did not give consent to give them away?
With rape. Was not on my bingo card for today.
Well, maybe you need a new bingo card. Let's give you an X for that. Taking anything from anyone without consent is called stealing. So what you're saying is that you're okay with stealing. Is that right? Okay. What other things do you steal?
But we're here. We've arrived. I was today years old when I learned that I now have to grapple with the guilt of knowing that I unwittingly took my son's vegan virginity. That fateful time when I had him try eggs just a year and a half ago. I love this.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. But you didn't know. It wasn't your fault. But now you know. Now you know it's wrong. In the egg industry, they take baby boy chicks, and when they're born, you have a son, you said? When baby boy chicks are born, if they are boys, they are put on a conveyor belt and sent to their murder. They are murdered. They're put in a giant blender, Leon, because they won't be able to lay eggs later. You see that face? You shouldn't have that face because there's nothing funny about what I'm telling you right now. It's actually sad. It's not okay.
Line here too where she just says, stay away from them. Your kids were...
Yeah, stay away from them. Do not force your kids to eat dead animals if they don't want to. That's child abuse. Forcing them to eat healthy foods, veggies, fruits, nuts, and seeds, that's okay. But forcing them to eat something that they are against on ethical principles, that's not okay.
Born vegan, just stay away. In fact, the second your kid comes flying out of that vaginal canal, just leave them alone. They'll figure it out.
No, feed your baby breast milk. Breast milk is vegan if it comes from your mother. It's not vegan if you steal it from another species who didn't consent to giving it to you. Nobody's talking about leaving children alone. Giving you an X because clearly you're not following in the lesson here. You're just making up shit now.
Truly spoken like a childless woman that owns 13 cats and consent.
Nope, that's a lie. I have 3 children and I have no cats, so 2 X's for those lies. What makes you decide to lie? That's what you do when you know I'm right.
Considers them her children.
Dear bosses, don't be vegan phobic. Be vegan fantastic. Yes. If you are ordering food for your company, for whatever occasion, make sure it's 100% vegan. That way, everybody wins.
Do we though? If I show up to a company
Yes, you do.
lunch and I have to choose between teriyaki tofu or a chickpea burger because one person in the company gets sad around bacon strips.
No, it's not because of one person. It's because there are trillions of animals murdered each year. If you include the fish and the oceans that we are raping right now, trillions of animals. We're not talking about the vegans in the room right now. Hello? Wakey, wakey, tune into class. Get your antennas up, pay attention.
I'm holding an L. That feels like a loss to me. By the way, weird time to compare vegan phobia with racism. But if your shtick, I guess, is getting people riled up, then...
Why? Without talking about this riled up part, why don't you actually address what I'm saying?
Well played. This woman...
What is the difference? What is the difference? See, this is typically, I'm going to give you an X because you don't understand the difference between, or you don't understand the similarities between racism and vegan phobia, and you don't understand the similarities between homophobia and vegan phobia. All of these are discrimination against people who are born a certain way. Vegans are born that way. Babies don't want to murder animals. When you put a little baby in a room with a bunny rabbit and an apple, they never ever try to take a bite out of the bunny. They try to play with the bunny and they eat the apple. All right? So it's not okay to discriminate against vegans. Vegans are kind-hearted people who always care about others. They care beyond themselves.
Damn near has on a new custom t-shirt every single fucking day.
Joe, life is more than skin deep. Yeah, you look good, but you know what? Anybody can look good. Just requires a little dedication and a gym. Tons of vegans are in the Olympics. Watch the Game Changers. You can become vegan. Stop promoting pork and ham. Those are baby pigs.
She goes on sprees sometimes of responding to people's TikToks that eat meat. It's fun.
Why? It's fun? Okay, good. I'll give you a check mark for that if you think it's fun. The fuck aren't you vegan yet, Mr. President Trump? Ooh! Is it because you're stuck on the toilet trying hard to push out a dump? When you become an ethical vegan, I guarantee you'll no longer be full of poo. And that time to change. Oh! You missed the end. Oh, you're going to get an X for that. You cut off the end. Time to change your religion. This is a good song. Your religion like you change your underwear. Change your religion. Show God that you really care. Change your religion. Wanna try something new. Use your critical thinking skills to question all
time to change your religion if it tells you to be cruel. Change your religion if it has a strange or crazy rule.
First of all,
Oh, why'd you stop
why did you
it?
have to leave the fucking metronome running? Okay, you couldn't have played the song without the metronome. That made my ears bleed. The song.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did that bother you? You know what? I'm not a professional musician. And it's really hard to write a song on TikTok. You have 60 seconds. You have like 59 seconds. So you got to like really, really make it tight, tight, tight squeeze. So the metronome was helping me. I'm so sorry. But were you actually listening to the words? Because that was kind of the important part. Did you listen to the words?
Song itself, absolute bop. But the metronome,
A bop!
skip.
Yes! You get a check mark. You liked my song. All right. I'm going to have to make sure that I put that on Spotify then if you like it. Lush, thanks for letting me know.
But next time. Secondly, what is she trying to convey here? Unsurprisingly, religious people in the comments weren't too thrilled about this one. Brandon Max is not going to change his religion, and Finn Bryan wants to know if anyone else ever just wants to punch a grandmother or... Now I get it. Now this is back about 100 videos ago, which is technically only a month ago when she had comments still enabled. It looks like in her more recent videos, she's now allowing comments only from approved accounts, so the entire comment section is just one big veganism circle jerk.
Well, that's because people were actually spreading lies about me, saying that I broke laws, saying that my dog was sick, saying that I murdered somebody, all this crazy stuff. So I kind of had to stop that because I couldn't address all of the lies that were going on there. You know, it's kind of like, it was a bit scary actually.
Listen, I don't even blame her. There's only so many bacon emojis a woman can take before she has to lay down the law.
If you're only gonna be vegan if I'm nice to you, then you miss the point entirely. Why the fuck would you take it out on the animals if you're mad at me?
So she makes a lot of TikToks about the fact that her dog is vegan.
Thank you, by the way, for not cutting that off, that you listened to the whole 15-second song. That was very good concentrating for you.
Since 2017, apparently, almost bragging about it, saying that she doesn't have to murder animals to feed her dog.
Bragging, that's a strange word. It's just kind of a fact.
I don't know. I thought dogs were carnivores. I don't really care. Or no. Apparently they can exist as vegans. Dogs can. I'm just curious, like, what about the whole food chain, the whole circle of life thing? How do you feel about the fact that so many species...
You mean like the Lion King Circle of Life song? I mean, we all live in harmony here on this planet. There's no circle of life. We are all intertwined. We all need each other. We are all related. Please watch Seaspiracy so you'll really understand what's going on with the oceans right now. And watch Dominion Movement. You can find it under watchdominion.com. Watchdominion.com. Super important video for you to watch, a documentary. Then maybe you'll understand.
On the planet would not be able to exist if it weren't for them consuming other species.
Yes, and nobody's denying that. Okay, Leon, nobody's saying that. Of course lions have to eat zebras or whatever. We're not talking about that. We're talking about humans who deliberately breed and create billions of animals that should never have been in existence in the first place, and they confine them into places like Auschwitz, like death camps, where they are enslaved. They have no natural ability to see the sun or birds to spread their wings. They are not making love. They are being bred. The bulls are being masturbated. The females are being raped. The baby cows are being ripped away from their mothers and turned into veal. There is kidnapping going on. There is stealing of milk. Are you okay with stealing? Are you okay with kidnapping? Are you okay with sexual assault of males and females? If you are, then that's right. That's why you support the meat, dairy, and egg industries. And if you're not, then you should be on my side. And my side is not a religion. My side is simply being, a good human. Yeah, you can do it.
Where do you suppose she draws the line on that? Like, what do you suppose a killer whale, for instance, is?
A killer whale is fine. We leave the oceans alone. They have their own thing going on there, and we are not bothering them. Other animals are not enslaving animals. They are eating them only when they need to. They are not going around and putting them in Nazi prison camps. This is what we do. It is despicable. We breed animals just to wear them as decorations. We keep foxes in tiny, tiny confined spaces, hell, in dark places, minks by the thousands and thousands and thousands, these giant warehouse sheds, and then we anally electrocute them for a decoration on a coat. We do horrific things to animals. You have several hundred hours of learning to do. You are way behind. You need a lot to catch up to.
Supposed to eat. Do we let them continue the heartless murder of other sea mammals so they can continue to eat?
It's not heartless because they cannot help it. It is all part of their ecosystem. We are not trying to change that. We are simply saying that humans do not need to eat meat, so why would they? We don't need it. It's been proven by science. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics has stated that you can be healthful on a vegan diet no matter what age you are. Small babies, toddlers, kids, teenagers, mothers, pregnant mothers, lactating mothers, older adults, everyone can be vegan, even you. So every time from now on, now that you know the truth, that you decide to eat meat, it is simply because of your taste pleasure, then you're a fucking asshole because you know how much it hurts them. They suffer terribly. A lifetime of hell, Leon. So, from now on, your job is to be vegan. And I don't give a fuck how big you are or how much you care about things taste, because it's not about your taste. Think of it this way. If tomorrow you wake up and you like the sound of animals screaming, I mean, you like the taste of them and you think that's enough for you to murder, you like the sound of them screaming, then you're saying that people have a right to murder animals just because they like the sound of their screaming? Or maybe you think it's okay because people like to see animals suffer with their eyes. Eyes are a sensory pleasure, and ears and taste buds, okay? So, what makes this, which is so close to this and this, trump everything, and then you think it's okay to hurt innocent animals? Shouldn't hurt animals. Don't hurt them. Please don't hurt them. Please be vegan from now on. Yeah, be brave enough to be vegan. Are you? Or you're a big wuss like all these other people? Pathetic. You trying to tell me I'm stronger than you? I have more willpower than you? Come on, I'm 56 years old. How old are you? Yeah, I could take you down. I could take you down in the battle of the wills. Because you don't have the will, do you? That's what I thought. But hey, let's see, we have another 5 minutes. Maybe by the end, you'll decide that you should be vegan, right? Crossing our fingers, holding our breath over here.
Or do we intervene and stop them from eating other creatures and let them die from starvation? Wouldn't that almost be like...
No, you idiot. Did you hear anything I just said?
Us murdering them? It's a very tricky, moral, complicated situation.
No, it's not. It's very easy. We leave animals the fuck alone. Okay? Let me repeat it. Leave animals the fuck alone. That's what we do, Leon. Right? We grow plants. We eat veggies, fruits, nuts, and seeds. We put those in our shopping cart. Peace begins on our plate, so we open up our heart. It's very easy. Okay? 300,000 plants. 300,000 edible plants on this planet. I think you can find something to eat. Plants have protein. They really, really do. Being vegan is awesome. You should do it.
I think if Katie was really committed to the cause, she would fill up a tugboat with 15 tons of tofu and hand feed these killer whales herself so she can save these goddamn seals that are getting relentlessly murdered by these vicious beasts of the ocean. You can make cringy, accusatory TikTok jingles and point fingers at other people on the internet all fucking day. But until you're out there in the ocean stuffing tofu down these killer whales' throats, I think you're all talk. I'm kidding, of course, but good Lord, this lady is like the Jehovah's Witnesses of veganism. It's like, man, be vegan, that's fine. If that
Veganism has nothing to do with religion. Jehovah's Witnesses are insane. They believe that in fairy tales. Vegans believe in science. You ever heard of it? Science. You know? Science. Truth. Measurable truths. Not like things like the Bible, written hundreds of years ago to control people. Oh my goodness. Come on, Leon.
lifestyle suits you, but please, for the love of God.
It's not a lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle. It is an ethical way of living. It's not a style.
Don't show up and knock on my door. I don't want to hear
Excuse me, I was doing my own thing on TikTok. You kind of showed up on my door. You just went over to my channel, started looking around, peering through the windows, opening the door, checking stuff out. Who's bothering who here? Giving you another X. Who's proselytizing? You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You're not even listening.
Hear it.
Run, run,
Oh, I
run
like this
from
song.
humans. They're trying to stab you. They're trying to murder you, to call you bacon and burn you in a frying pan.
Yeah, all right.
Yes.
I have no doubt. I don't doubt that Katie has the best intentions, right? Given her alignment with what she believes in, and
Okay, let's give you a check mark for that. I'll take that. Good. Yes, I do have the best of intentions, and I thank you for noticing that.
how she lives her life, she thinks she's doing the right thing.
I know I'm doing the right thing. Got to change that. Got to change that verb. Okay, we know it's right not to hurt others. Okay, do you know that it's right not to hurt your neighbor? Do you know it's right not to steal your neighbor's puppies from her dog? Do you know it's right not to go up to your neighbor and take a dog's milk that belongs to her puppies? So it's just the same. I'm not going to go to a cow and take a cow's milk away from her. It's called stealing. So we don't think it's right. We know it's right.
And, maybe that's a commendable thing, but
Not maybe. It is a commendable thing. And there's no but. Giving you an X for that. Not stealing is a commendable thing. And you should know that. Should we listen to the rest of what's going to come out of this guy's mouth? What's going to come out of here? He just said a but. Oof, it's going to be painful. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about it. Let's see.
I think that I really believe that in a large scale, when you zoom out and look at how many people watch these videos, it might be having a counterproductive effect. Like she'll reach
really?
the one.
Oh, really? Well, science of social change will tell otherwise. What's important is that this discussion gets on the table. You see, you wouldn't be talking about veganism right now. And many of your viewers would not be Googling healthy vegan recipes or factual things about what actually goes on. Actually, I don't know what your audience is like. Maybe they're just not educated like you, but hopefully some people are. And clearly people are, because when I sang that song outside of McDonald's that had over 24 million views, and then I don't even know how many people duetted it and other things, it definitely made an effect. McDonald's and many other places are consistently coming out with more vegan options because of people like me who speak out. Yeah. How do you think that the slaves became free? It's not from everybody just saying, hey, maybe that's just a good idea. It's from people speaking out firmly against it. How do you think that women got the right to vote? It's from them yelling and saying, we demand the right to vote. This is what happens. Social change requires this awkward time of disruption where everybody's like, what the hell's going on? What's happening? What are we talking about? And that's how things change. Yeah.
Percent of people that feel exactly like her, and they're all circle jerk in the comments, but I feel like for the majority of people that come across these videos, maybe a lot of people leaning or thinking about trying veganism are going to see these videos and be like,
or the opposite. If they are thinking about not harming animals, don't you think that seeing somebody say, hey, I'm over here not harming animals, why don't you join me, would help? Veganism simply means not harming animals. What's that face? That's the face you should be showing at to somebody who hurts animals. See me? I'm somebody who's trying to stop their pain. Okay? Give me a little smile. I don't like that look.
fuck, is this what veganism does to a motherfucker? Oof. Like, I genuinely...
To a motherfucker? That's what vegan does to a motherfucker. No. What veganism does to people is it wakens them up to who they were born to be. Kind-hearted people. You were born vegan. It's been beat out of you. You were fed dead animals, and now look at the size of you. People like you, it takes a lot for you guys to become vegan because you're actually very weak. You look physically strong on the outside, but you're not actually very strong. And I encourage you to watch a documentary called The Game Changers. And then you'll learn how to become vegan, how to be a real man. Because real men protect animals. they don't go around and pay people to kill them. You shouldn't be doing that. You should be kind. You should be vegan. And you should start now.
Genuinely dislike when people antagonize vegans for no reason, right?
Oh, like you're doing now? What do you think you're doing? Is this a neutral video? This is exactly what you're doing. Did you not see your face before? That's kind of antagonizing vegans. It's not being sweet.
A lot of people just choose this lifestyle because they think it's healthier, or they have a lot of empathy for animals, and that's totally fine.
It's more than fine if you care about the animals. If you're doing it for yourself, it's not being vegan. Okay, being vegan is about the animals. Go and look up the Vegan Society definition. It's about doing the least harm at all times.
Something about the way Katie executes her TikTok.
You mean making you feel guilty? I know, it's hard, eh? You don't like that. Nobody wants to be made feel guilty. You're fucking right, I made everyone feel guilty. And that's why I got thrown off the app. But that doesn't mean that what I did was wrong. It doesn't mean that I regret one single thing. I did everything right. I blew up TikTok, and apparently all kinds of stuff was going on here on YouTube as well. And everybody started thinking about it. And the idea was that all the other vegans were supposed to come in and explain, watch this video. Do this, do that, Google this, check out this recipe. And many of them stood up and did just that. Yeah.
Channel, though, the way she projects herself and kind of feels like she's standing on top of this ivory vegan tower.
Ivory is not vegan. Ivory comes from stealing from elephants. I don't want to be on any ivory tower. And in fact, the only one who thinks that they are above somebody is you, because you think that you are so high and mighty, and you are so cruel that you think it's okay to pay people to kill baby animals, little lambs. Pigs are only 6 months old when they're turned into bacon. Who the fuck thinks they're better than anyone else? I'm here in the trenches fighting for the most innocent among us, who will never ever say thank you to me. But I know that they care, and I know that they are grateful that I'm here. What the fuck are you doing with your life? Promoting death.
Looking down at all the sinners. Something about the way she does it makes...
I am looking down at people who are cruel, and you are cruel. Stop hurting animals.
Makes me want to uppercut a cow in the fucking throat.
You're a fucking idiot. You just failed with that. Fail. You see, whatever you do has no reflection on me. That's like somebody saying that they are trying to speak out against racism. Somebody's on the street, okay? Somebody's trying to speak out against racism. So let's say there's this little girl, okay? And somebody's over here saying, you know, people shouldn't be racist. And then somebody else says, you know what, just because you said that, it makes me want to hurt her. How fucking ridiculous are you? You see this? You see this innocent little girl? You see this innocent little pig? Whoop, that's her bum. You see this innocent little pig? Okay? Neither one of these wants to be hurt. And if you decide to hurt either one of them, that's nobody's fucking fault except yours. You want to be a racist asshole? Nobody can stop you. You want to be a veganphobic asshole? Nobody can stop you. No matter what anybody's doing. If people are standing up and telling you not to be racist, and you're like, you know what, you just make me want to be even more racist. Hello? Wakey, wakey, how does that make any sense? If you're homophobic and somebody's saying, hey, don't be homophobic, and you're like, you know, just because you said that, it makes me want to be even more homophobic. You fucking moron. There you go. We've had enough, I think. What an idiot. Oh, students. So we're not going to grow up to be like him. So students, thank you for coming to class. Unfortunately, this student, as many, many others, has failed. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe. Press the little bell, and we will be looking at all kinds of things. We will be talking about racism. We will be talking about homophobia. We will be talking about veganphobia. We will talk about all of the oppressed people and beings on this planet. We will be trying very hard in the near future to protect the oceans, because we have the new documentary out called Seaspiracy. That's important. And don't forget to eat. I left my carrot and hummus here. Don't forget to eat healthy veggies, fruits, nuts, and seeds every day. Eating animals is wrong, Leon Lush. Hurting animals is wrong, Leon Lush. Share this song and change your entire attitude to be vegan from now on. Thank you everybody for listening. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye for now. Doo 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 doo.